Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We're both suffering a little bit from jet lag, so if we fall asleep during this reading, I mean, I'm usually falling asleep anyway, as many of you have noticed, but if we fall asleep today, it's because we get jet lag. Okay, so where are we? What are we doing?
Canto 4, Chapter 10, Text 20.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What's the title of the chapter?
Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas.
And I think we're going to finish this chapter today. It's quite a short chapter.
Text 20. The remaining Yakshas who somehow or other were not killed had their limbs cut to pieces by the arrows of the great warrior Dhruva Maharaj. Thus they began to flee, just as elephants flee when defeated by a lion. Text 21. Dhruva Maharaj, the best of human beings, observed that in that great battlefield not one of the opposing soldiers was left standing with proper weapons. He then desired to see the city of Alakapuri, but he thought to himself, no one knows the plans of the mystic Yakshas. Text 22. In the meantime, while Dhruva Maharaj, doubtful of his mystic enemies, was walking with his charioteer, talking, they heard a tremendous sound as if the whole ocean were there, and they found that from the sky a great dust storm was coming over them from all directions. Text 23. Within a moment the whole sky was overcast with dense clouds, and severe thundering was heard. There was glittering electric lightning and severe rainfall. Text 24. My dear faultless Vidura, in that rainfall there was blood, mucus, pus, stool, urine and marrow falling heavily before Dhruva Maharaj, and there were trunks of bodies falling from the sky. And we just complain about a bit of rain.
Yeah, we use that statement, what is it? It's raining cats and dogs. I think this is a little bit up on the cats and dogs program.
Text 25. Next, a great mountain was visible in the sky, and from all directions hailstones fell, along with lances, clubs, swords, iron, bludgeons, and great pieces of stone.
That's one hail of a storm.
Text 26. Dhruva Maharaj also saw many big serpents with angry eyes, vomiting forth fire and coming to devour him, along with groups of mad elephants, lions, and tigers. Text 27. Then, as if it were the time of the dissolution of the whole world, the fierce sea with foaming waves and great roaring sounds came forward before him. Text 29. The demon Yakshas are by nature very heinous, and by their demoniac power of illusion they can create many strange phenomena to frighten one who is less intelligent. Text 29. When the great sages heard that Dhruva Maharaj was overpowered by the illusory mystic tricks of the demons, they immediately assembled to offer him auspicious encouragement. And text 30. All the sages said, Dear Dhruva, O son of King Uttanapad, may the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Shringadhanva, who relieves the distresses of his devotees, kill all your threatening enemies. The holy name of the Lord is as powerful as the Lord himself. Therefore, simply by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord, many men can be fully protected from fierce death without difficulty. Thus a devotee is saved. Purport. The great rishis approached Dhruva Maharaj at a time when his mind was very perplexed due to the magical feats exhibited by the Yakshas. A devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By his inspiration only, the sages came to encourage Dhruva Maharaj and assure him that there was no danger because his soul fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord. By the grace of the Lord, if a devotee at the time of death can simply chant His holy name, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Simply by chanting this Maha Mantra, he immediately surpasses the great ocean of the material sky and enters the spiritual sky. He never has to come back for repetition of birth and death. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can surpass the ocean of death. So Dhruva Maharaj was certainly able to surpass the illusory magical feats of the yakshas, which for the time being disturbed his mind.
Thus end the Bhaktivedanta Purports of the 4th Canto, 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Dhruva Maharaj's Fight with the Yakshas.
So there you go. I think it's a nice point made. Is it in the purport? Hold on. That Krishna inspired these sages from within to go and see Dhruva Maharaj because he needed some reassurance because he was losing his mind a bit. I think that's very nice in terms of our lives, like we can become upset, morose, challenges, major life challenges and that, and sometimes we may even feel forsaken. Where's God? Where's Krishna? What's all going on? But as it says, because Krishna is one form, is the super soul, and he directs all the living entities. So he directs. You don't have to literally come himself. If you think he's worthy, then he will. But at the same time, he directs people, and they, may pick up the phone. Maybe they text you. Maybe he directs you and them to him. Classes, conversations, and you can feel relieved. And what's interesting is, if we're sincere, you feel that connection with God, like, but if we're kind of weak in the faith, then we feel, no, they helped me, nothing to do with God. Actually it was. He's directing it all, like here, and he's orchestrating it, so you get that help and support, and sometimes you really need that reminder about, sometimes we have to take it back to basics in our faith, Krishna consciousness, so otherwise we have to take it back to basics. There is a God, we should chant the holy names, we should try to chant attentively, maybe try to read regularly, whatever, 5-10 minutes, an hour. Sometimes when we forget those basics, it's very overwhelming. Even the most simplest things become overwhelming. What to say, major tests in life. And then it's nice when devotees and that can remind you, what's going on,
Yeah, that's very nice point, that if we're a devotee, then this, especially the purport in the verse, is kind of helping us to understand that, Krishna will help you. I really like how you pointed out that sometimes someone calls us up right at the moment we need, or like that. And we also have to be, I think the other side is we have to be open to be used as an instrument like that also. That sometimes, all of you out there, I'm sure you've had the experience that you hear that little voice inside encouraging you to do something, reach out to someone, give someone a call, you remember them, you haven't thought about them in some time, and it's like that. And sometimes we just need to act on that inspiration or impulse, whatever we might call it, and actually become that instrument for someone else, because sometimes other people also need it. And we can be used as an instrument to assist others like that. By the grace of the Lord, if a devotee at the time of death can simply chant his holy name, he immediately surpasses the great ocean of material sky and enters the spiritual sky. Never has to come back. So, also very important statement here about the power of the holy name. and the benefits of chanting the holy name Antakale Chimam Eva Smaran Muktwe Kale Baram. That whatever one remembers at the time of death, that state he'll attain without fail. Krishna kind of promises that in the Gita. So it's quite powerful. And I think this starts to touch on one of the points that I mentioned a while ago, which is that we see here that even though Dhruva is a pure devotee, even though he had the personal darshan of the Lord, and the Lord touched him on his head with his conch shell, still now we see, as time has progressed, that Dhruva is becoming bewildered by these yakshas. So it kind of dispels this myth or this idea that the pure devotee can't, I don't want to say fall into illusion, but like that, because Dhruva Maharaj is definitely a pure devotee, and here he is being kind of perplexed in a situation that's perplexing him. Any thoughts on that? Okay. So, should we start the new chapter?
I think we should end this reading because it's nice to do that.
Well, that is the voice of divinity speaking.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to finish here. It's just short and sweet. The next chapter will be starting. Next reading will be chapter 11. And it is entitled Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj to stop fighting. Oh yeah, it's Swayambhuva who advises. I always thought it was Kuvera. But yeah, there you go.
Alright.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.